say the Parliament of Ghana and Sembe na ekoso. Oba Ghana has a CA, the NDC government, CCA, they are collaborating with the United States of America. Na air strikes on best omoko what Nigeria no, omo ene US Army, omo ene collaborating na omo akwa disa jumano ewo Nigeria. Na eno ena minorities yo montiase because yeti Ghana hano yenti bibi sada. Ene saying United States of America, omo collaboration omo ne Ghana no Hremu a omo be seti basis e wa ha planes no do na armed planes and I say armed military planes alandi wo Ghana hanom dada ba be start operational omo be set up base e wo Ghana ha se a aha no omo be suma omo missiles no from here to selected areas e wo North Nigeria eno ebetimi aboa se omo be fight ISIS na eno na minority in parliament omo ti ase omo se enye say beti ase say sa niema we bi enkoso e wo ha because yes say bibi sakra ebe koso a enkyere they should come and mount their bases here. It is calling for ISIS now more tries on be fight you in Nigeria no it is calling them say Ghana ye na eboa amomatu omo so sa enti say bibi antimi anko ye no say omo be dane omo ha kokrofo for so na say Ghana ometia be pie mu e wo ha because ye ho be ba be ye hin ye ho be batan e wo ISIS for any terrorism ekoso wo Nigeria wan hwa na Ghana ha omo de omani akire mu wo ha quickly no ye be koni akwakutie from the minority in parliament the kind of answers they are demanding from the government because was enkeba parliament imponi ebobo hu ansa na ehu say ye be dia tuma na say ye nyintu because it is very new in Ghana here ebi see that say aha na be set up base enti ntokwa ekoso wo Iran Israel near the Middle East no the kind of setup o maye bi wo Dubai any Qatar any other countries are enti ama Iran air fight you omo no ebi enebe koso Ghana hanti US be set up base wa ha na omo alanchi omo missiles from Ghana to Nigeria o de yanko negotie what the minority is demanding from the government if you are beto aso de amamo.
There are very important questions to be asked. Firstly, what is the framework within which the Ghanaian government collaborated with the United States of America? We are reliably informed and we are reliably guided by the former Minister of Defense, who is on my right-hand side here, that at no stage in the 8 years of the Akufo-Addo administration did the government of Ghana get into any agreement with the United States to have Ghana be used as a base for launching military attacks in other foreign countries. So at what stage and through what legal mechanism or framework did our government collaborate and agree with the government of the United States of America to unleash a military action and airstrikes against a terrorist organization in a foreign country, Nigeria? That is the first question. The second question, if the government of Ghana entered into any such agreement with the government of the United States of America, the dictates and tenets of our national constitution are express and clear that such agreements must necessarily elicit parliamentary approval. And so if there was any such agreement, why has the government as yet not tabled that agreement before the Parliament of Ghana for ratification or otherwise? Thirdly, what are the national security implications for our country with this kind of collaboration? Does Ghana become a target of ISIS? Does Ghana become a target for other terrorist organizations? What measures have been put in place in Ghana to ensure that our citizens are protected and our national security is safeguarded? And so what measures has the government put in place in the light of this extraordinary disclosure by the foreign minister, a very high-ranking official of the government and a member of the National Security Council of the government, that our government, on the blind side of all of Ghana, the media, civil society, parliament, and other stakeholders in our country, collaborated and cooperated with the United States in December last year, some 3 clear months ago, to authorize a military action from Ghanaian soil into a foreign country against a terrorist organization? What measures have they put in place to protect Ghanaians? These are the 3 fundamental questions we ask. And we conclude by making this strong and firm demand that the Minister for Foreign Affairs should appear before Parliament immediately to brief Parliament the circumstances under which the Mahama administration collaborated with the United States to perpetuate this military action in Nigeria, and what framework, legal framework, was it that they took this action and tabled it before Parliament for the consideration of Parliament. And finally, to give the Ghanaian people the needed assurance that Ghana is not being unnecessarily exposed to terrorist organizations.
All right, and these are the answers that the minority is demanding from from the majority or more aside as to defense minister, defense ministry. You know what kind of mechanism being protected Ghana for, because if free Ghana has a air corner, what if they want to reply and answer? What if they want to also send their missiles to Ghana? What are the security measures? Omo edi egu akwemu, and I say from the onset now omo mega so omo underrate ISIS for no say omo ntimi nto missiles bi omo de ani AK-47 ne ade ntimi bi ntimi nkoso. They are demanding answers from aban ho say omo mra no mo metirem, because niema bi say na e was say nketimi go through parliament na omo editum. Na there were some other conversations kiremu a you know say omo be yes this particular operations that were Ghana setting up a base in Ghana to launch their missiles from Ghana to another country, Nigeria. No, when him said definitely, B0mbing here kakra Ghana Army and Subet. But then, former Defense Minister Honorable Dominic Nitiwu and so adding some Tuja, because also no more time. The kind of agreements on the United States Army sign, na bibie ni mu e kire se omo me set up base wo ha no mo to bomb even free Ghana ha fa Nigeria. Na se yeti ha se ya na obeti se missiles ni bi nam wiem na se an ehun se amanfo create some stories funny near maybe se obehu missile na na say ye fish wey obehu missile na a real missile. Yenko tie former Defense Minister Dominic Nitiwu ni emra sese.
Let me state that Ghana has had the privilege to, and America has also had the privilege of signing agreements with Ghana in 1998, 2002, 2015, and all these agreements were put together in a document called Defense Cooperation Agreement, the Status of the United States Forces, in 2018. And I signed it on behalf of Ghana. In all these agreements, at no point was the United States or any other country allowed to use the territory of Ghana as a launch pad to attack any individual, any nation, any group of person, or any organization. In fact, for the United States to even bring armed military aircraft, you will need the permission of Ghana. For them to launch any attack, you will need the express permission of the government of Ghana, particularly the president. Unless the foreign minister is telling us that there is another agreement that has been signed between 7th of January 2025 and now, what he has disclosed to the world poses a serious risk to you, the citizens of Ghana, and to Ghana as a whole. We all want to help fight the terrorists. We all want to quench it. And we partner with various countries, including the United States. But no government should be allowed to ask a foreign country without a formal agreement to use our territory to bomb, attack, or kill anybody without our permission. And the foreign minister needs to immediately brief the people of Ghana through parliament.
All right, yes, and former Defense Minister Honorable Dominic Nitiwu and ordaining some Tuja Honu Chirimwa. I was immediately Foreign Affairs Minister. I was Oba na Parliament obe briefing Ghanaians as to the kind of agreement almost sign here. What is Ghana going to benefit from that particular agreement or sign and now who say ɛho hia sɛ ɔmo bɛtoa so anaasɛ ɔmo ntoa so because agreement bi say ɔmo assign bi da ɔmo hu bi say ɛwɔ mu ɛkra ɛda ɛwɔ hɔnom enti yes this is the update free make say foreign affairs ministry ɔmo ɛde abɛto dwa sɛ say yes yɛne United States of America yɛne ɔmo ɛbɛyɛ collaboration ama ɔmo attack ɔmo ɛde kɔ ISIS any other terrorist groups ɔmo wɔ Nigeria omo ene Ghana ebe collaborate abeseti a basis ewa ha na omo astarte na omo alanche omo attacks no ewa ha say enti yes ye behwe na ya follow ni ahwe update ebe free mobile because yes the foreign affairs ministry also omutimi be briefi Ghanaians as to eden ena ekoso na yenso yetimi ehunumu ebi ewo ehonom ye to so a ye be Middle East and tokwa ekoso United States of America Israel and Iran and tokwa ekoso ama omo nkronkro a omo benben Iran nyina obi a eji omo ede no ewo ho ye be ko eno eso ede amamo na on our screens an update a ye de mamu 2 Ghanaians injured in drone attack near Dubai International Airport. Foreign Ministry urges citizens in Middle East to be extremely cautious. Ewo ehonom enti yes ebeto dwa say Dubai International Airport very close to Dubai International Airport drone attacks be echo so ewo honom a yine nim say they are trying to say omo try say omo bebubu aman ni nyina pre na unim say ye be attack wo airport the kind of financial cost we be incur ewo honom no enye agro ewo ho enti no enema missiles ni bi through a drone attack ekoto Dubai International Airport 2 Ghanaians are not safe men kan sa omo akopra ewo honom ama akwakoya asem now the foreign affairs ministry omo e de abetu dwa se omo ka kire Ghana fo nyina se monhwe na mombo mo ho ban ewo honom enti no any update free foreign affairs ministry omo ho ede eba from honorable Samuel Okudzeto ablakwa yenim se de ne nsem bebre de odi free baby ede ba baby bebre and a foreign affairs minister Samuel Okudzeto ablakwa odi ensem edi free honom ede eba and currently ne de update ni kiremu Ghana for me no omo ho akoka ewo Dubai ama akwakoye ensem bebre ewo honom enti ebeto aso na ye the updates no enyina enso ede amamo ewo honom ha Pinaxtv ye the updates no de aka nyina so ebe ebremo quickly no yenko Korea President John Dramani Mahama akwakopiem ewo Korea na dwumadie ben ena okodiye ewo ho amanfo bebre dodo na omu ebisem entokwa ekosui ama sesi Korea say North Korea omo hukura akoka ewo Iran baby na President John Dramani Mahama Korea de kopeden wo ho a lot of people were asking questions but then the update no eba be mamo President John Dramani Mahama kopiem ewo Korea okodi dwumason bi ewo honom vessel kese Sahara group omo airline ewo Korea hono President John Dramani Mahama kodi animu ema omo airline sa vessel no ebefa men kan say oil any gas e dey free honom e dey be piem ewo Ghana ha say President John Dramani Mahama kodi animu ema omo enemi vessel no ewo honom omo sanso so men kan say omo sanso airline for the very first time ewo ho so what we have on your screens a commemorative plaque ye launch here and I say omo install here that particular place omo launch that vessel no ewo ho it's a commemorative plaque unveiled during the commissioning of the Sahara LPG vessel, recognizing the leadership and commitment of President John Dramani Mahama. The honor reflects his dedication to nation building, unity, and sustainable development, while symbolizing Ghana's continued progress in strengthening energy infrastructure and advancing cleaner energy solutions for the future. The vessel stands as a testament to the resilient strength and enduring spirit of the people of Ghana. And that is the current update ID every year Korea. President John Dramani Mahama kopiemu ewo honom no enema ekoso ebi ena yaboboso edi amamo no. Say there metimi aka say MT Asharami Ghana vessel no ya launch quickly yanko ne yakɔhwɛ President John Dramani Mahama emra na otwa ahomam na vessel kɛse wo screens no so yi take you off ne emra sese.
3, 2, 1. Come on.
Today marks another historic milestone for Africa and our quest to secure access to energy for all.
3, 2, 1.
Once we deploy this facility and the 6,000 metric ton storage facility in Accra, it will increase the overall LPG storage facility in Ghana to 40,000 metric ton. And that provides a significant buffer for the future.
Wow. This ship is full of surprises, eh?
Today, we commission not merely an asset at sea, but a stronger foundation for Ghana's energy future. A decisive step forward in building a resilient, secure, and modern downstream sector.
I name this vessel Asharami Ghana. May God bless her and all who sail on her.
This occasion represents more than the launch of a vessel. It marks a significant milestone in strengthening the infrastructure that underpins the global liquefied petroleum gas supply chain.
3, 2, 1.
The new LPG vessel we are gathered to celebrate is part of a deliberate and sustained drive by Sahara Group to expand access to clean energy through liquefied petroleum gas. The vessel, in addition to serving the good people of Ghana, will support neighboring nations with clean, stable, safe, and efficient energy supply chains.
This investment aligns closely with Your Excellency's vision of building a resilient and sustainable downstream sector, one that promotes cleaner energy solutions while ensuring accessibility and security of supply for Ghanaian households and businesses.
Ready?
Yes, please.
MT Asharami Ghana not only carries the flag of Ghana, but is also dedicated to supplying Ghana with liquefied petroleum gas. Together with the investment in the 6,000 metric ton storage facility, Sahara Group Limited is taking Ghana one more step towards energy security.
All right, so that was the video here. President John Dramani Mahama okopie mu ewo Korea or de Asharami or more ship omo lanche ye omo mani din MT Asharami vessel ewo honom and that is the update. President John Dramani kopie mu ewo Korea no update ni jumedi okodi no emu bi ba kono no. Now the other part of it oshia the Korean president oshia the Korean president ewo honom no ehonso so update no ewo ho aye ewo se ye de ema omunti President Lee Jae-myung Korea president President John Dramani Mahama ekoshia no omudi nkomo bebre ema nipa dodo na enso ka start kasafa ho because ensem odi to dwane kiremu Ghana has the natural resources na the technology e de bedi ehu dwuma eno ene ade aka enti obesre se Korea for betimi aba no mabeboan because you see nickel any lithium any ade Ghana is having it in abundance Ghana has na aka technology ye de ebedi hu dwuma na ye add value to it na yetimi export de akọ amanfoforo so enti only president of Korea edin komo nti yebekọ na yakoje nkomo omudi ye ho yeba beto aso de amamo.
Ghana is an extremely familiar and heartwarming country to all Koreans. In 1975, even before formalization of diplomatic relations, a chocolate bar using Ghanaian cocoa was first released in Korea. And after 50 years, this chocolate, which bears the name Ghana, still brings sweet happiness to many Koreans. I also hope that through President Mahama's visit to Korea, we will be able to create more opportunities for substantial cooperation that can directly benefit both of our peoples.
Africa has passed the African Continental Free Trade Area, which is a historic agreement that opens a market of 1.4 billion people. And the Secretariat of the African Continental Free Trade Area is based in Accra, in Ghana. And so we want to create Ghana as the hub for production and export into the rest of Africa. Ghana, like other African countries, has potential for critical minerals. And so currently we're exploiting bauxite, manganese, and gold. And we've discovered vast reserves of lithium and some nickel and other rare minerals. Korea has the technology, and we believe that we can explore these minerals together and not export them in their raw form, but add value to the critical minerals and export them both to Korea and other countries. Ghana has the natural resources and human resources, and Korea has the technology and innovation. I believe that we can bring these two together in a win-win partnership. We want to create a situation where we can add more value to the cocoa by producing cocoa liquor, cocoa butter, for export, so that other businesses can go and make it into finished products. We are also proud of our ambassador, Okudzeto, who embodies the values of both Ghana and Korea. Today, because of the social media, we've been able to follow his exploits since he arrived in Korea. And we're very proud that he's been accepted as a representative of our country. We look forward to mutually supporting each other to reform the UN in order to expand it.
Right, President John Dramani Mahama, and then some more the two jar a honum and not ye cotie bino. And this is yes, ye Korea for a babe toke se. He talked about the fact that all babe stress ye benya a visa waivers, a diplomatic passports, any official passports. Ghana has ya utum say no utu kwan akọ Korea. There are certain charges ni nneema bi agigi na utuatua so betimi ate no so betimi enya menka ne say betimi enya a special treatment honum enti no ene nsema President John Dramani Mahama edi etudwa honum osanso bo Ghana's ambassador to Korea eno Okudzeto eno so obona baso woni dwumedi a Odi ewo Korea honoma ochiremu through social media and say it me hu ne niema all year and exploits. Some of the things are all year trying to sell Ghana out there in Korea. That is the update. President John Dramani Mahama okopiem ewo Korea no the update no mamo on your screens you could still see the vessel okobie ano ewo honum, a very giant one ebeboa ede gas and menga say LPG ebe free Korea ede abe PM Ghana West Africa and Africa in menga say Africa in general 6,000 tons metric tons and the quantity of gas LPG this particular vessel ebe timi carry ede free Korea abe PM Ghana ebe raise ye no menga say buffer no to about 40,000 metric tons Ghana say ebe boa ama Ghana yetimi anya niema we in abundance. All this is in relation with a crisis across the Middle East. Na also Ghana yetimi eboa ye ho ne eboa ye ho so because as we speak now the Strait of Hormuz a war in between Iran and I think India no it still remains closed. Enti ebe kakra no se Ghana ye ho ekwa atwe wo gas ho any petrol ni ade a na say Sahara groups omo vessel President John Dramani Mahama akwa bia no yi ebetimi aboa na a supplement all your needs for energy ewo Ghana ha say. So that is the updates from President John Dramani Mahama kopiemu ewo Korea no ye beto aso na ye de ensem no ato aso de amamo ewo honom. Yes, ye ko enimu a minority omo de nsema ba betudwa yenim se enche ye bia na security services e Ghana ha omo efa nipa omo efa nipa dodo na e Ghana ha say a lot of people applied ebi mo top forms no across all the security services and omutua 220 Ghana cedis na se update free mu eba ne say 113.7 million Ghana cedis a revenue a aban etimi generate and I say all the security forces omutimi generate ye o kan nyina ebomu a e wo honom ama se a minority almost so many in because out of 517,000 plus applicants, 1% penny a fire, about 5,000 of it any a fire, and no enama nipaduana or mubufu omu edra Ghana has say or mu any engine the course no minority aside in some about two said a they are demanding say obia genie sika bia 220 ebimu try up to 660 crowd plus because they want to see say wait me nya ha be fa na hamfa minority in some atudwa say interior ministry omo hwe na omo security forces no muntua omo sika back emfa mo yenko ne gotie minority minority group omo parliament omo nsem omo di tudwa na yemra sese
and further call for the following urgent actions. Number 1, and first, there must be an independent bipartisan probe into the entire centralized recruitment process for immediate and appropriate review before we continue. And number 2, very, very importantly, responding to the plight of the 500,000 potential recruits who have been scammed, we demand the government must refund the application fees of 220 cedis per application form to all applicants who were disqualified through knocked out technology constraints, who were disqualified not because they did not qualify, but because of the problematic nature of the aptitude tests by the questionable recruitment process. They must all be restored to every amount they lost. And here, to put it in perspective, most of the applicants will tell you that they bought 2, 3, some even 4 forms to all the security agencies. So for the person who bought 3 forms to Ghana Police Service, to Immigration, and to Ghana Fire Service, such a person has lost 660 cedis, not to talk of the cost of traveling to recruitment centers. All these costs have been put in place, and all their traveling up and down, even the cost of going to the internet cafe, all these trauma having endured, you turn around to tell them you have space for only 5,000. Pay back their 220. Refund the 113 million cedis the government has mailed from the unemployed, unsuspecting, innocent, hardworking young men and women in this country. This is a serious national security threat. They are in despair. And if something is not done about it, and over 400,000 youth hit the streets, what is going to happen? It will be chaos. Already we have national security threat, unemployment on our hands. You promised them jobs. You didn't add any conditions. Then you turn around, you politically expand the age limit from 25 to 35, signaling that there is more room and more access, more financial clearance, which was a lie. You knew from the very beginning you were recruiting only 5,000. And yet you did all this to lure 500,000 people, took their money, milked them 113 million cedis and over, only to turn around yesterday, after you had knocked them out by technology and internet disruptions from the aptitude tests, you tell them that you have only 5,000. Yesterday, the minister also said something that was quite troubling. He even made allusion to the fact that they have introduced this system to eliminate persons that they perceive to have mental challenges and drug challenges, not to enter to exacerbate the already mental challenges that they have in the. We beg to differ. We on the minority side cannot undermine our men and women in uniform. We are proud to say that the men and women in uniform in all our security agencies are of sound mind. And these are patriotic people who are selflessly devoted to the protection of our land. You don't undermine them publicly, internationally in such a manner. And the question we're asking is, which aspect of the aptitude test had psychometric and psychiatric assessment that disqualified 400,000 people that they deem to be mentally unfit? That is most ridiculous. So we are demanding the refund to all of them. This is not partisan. Everybody who has been treated who has been scammed in such a manner must be refunded their full funds, and then probe is conducted, and then we take it from there. Thank you very much.
So over 500,000 applicants will be out to 220 Ghana cedis. And crown 113,000.7 million Ghana cedis. Sikanimu dupa enti minority chiremu ase enya de ese mo ye ese nka mo be for mo na den na mutimi ebie mu anipa dodo sei apply. Now on your screens Interior Minister Honorable Muntaka Mubarak Mohammed. Now, updates be by 30,000 NDC supporters have qualified for medicals. Muntaka Mubarak Mohammed, Interior Minister. I beto ja na nipa dodo na kasa de fa ho say, nipa 30,000. Nipa 30,000 is wo nyina NDC for enti omo maka omo so Ghana for omo nya NDC for no be omo den. But see updates by chiremu a no kura bi anim. Na amanfo omo dia omo nya asem ni ntum se honorable edi release abasa nya no kre no omo kiremu a edrumre bi se yento de me kan say years anipa na di age a ye de apply for me kan say recruitment process no Emma eno ebeye ensem bebre wo Ghana ha say what is a minority eka say we can't compromise with our security na mo mutimi agitum say yentum enko nanimu dia na yese mu biem say nipa dodo na apply a eno na minority for kiremu a job for the boys say see there Interior Ministry omo the update about kiremu a no kura bia anim 30,000 NDC supporters omo apply for security forces and as agent security forces Ghana has say 30,000 omo pass it through medicals no because by say bi mo ho omo security it may disqualify omo enti eno ebeye updates na ye to so in NDC omo ankasa mu a lot of them omo start kasa about the rate of unemployment in Ghana ha Gabriela Tete Mrs. Gabriela Tete ordinance sama baba to judge mu say nipa 500,000 plus apply for adwuma Ghana ha na mu 5,000 penny before mo na che say aban ni wa adwuma ye ono de started the free aban aba ko nyina ho say omu nyina na adwuma eda ho say wo say nkomo ye quickly ni be akotie Mrs. Gabriela Tete ono communications for the National Democratic Congress ni emra CCA.
Yes, unemployment has, for the greater part of the last decade, been a big challenge for all successive governments, and the current NDC administration is no exception to it. I mean, from the time that we're developing the manifesto, 2024 manifesto, the people, we made mention of initiatives aside security employment that will be made available to the young people, and those initiatives are already being deployed by the various agencies. We have the Ejumoro program with the NEIP. We have the apprenticeship program under the Youth Authority. We have the YEA also going through different kind of models together with support from private sector to create jobs for the youth. And of course, we've also have this security recruitment for those who are interested in joining the security. But what this tells you, listen to what the Interior Minister said, was that as a country, we need to be more particular about creating jobs for the youth. But it's worrying that 500,000 people are applying to positions that only 1% can be accepted to. That is worrying. We couldn't even make it even 10%, which would have been 50,000, because don't forget that recruitment into the security services is also an item on the central government's budget. And there's a limit to how much fiscal space government can take in recruiting more people into the public service. And that is why these initiatives, especially the youth-driven initiatives, are very important. Now, aside these youth-driven initiatives, I think that government rollout of some of the other programs that we've started, like the 24-hour economy bill act that was passed by Parliament, we should quickly implement those programs so that the young people of this country can benefit. There is a challenge on our hands. Let nobody kid themselves that we don't have a youth unemployment issue. We do have a youth unemployment issue. The statistics indicate that between 20 to 22% of our young people are looking for jobs. And it is the reality. And that is what we have as a government since His Excellency John Dramani Mahama came into office, tried to focus his attention on. One of the reasons why they've been appointed so many young people is to create the impression to the young people that we have more vibrant young people here who understand you and are here to try and address your challenges. But as I said, 500,000 people applying for a position of just 5,000 is a big problem.
You're saying that
now, for us as a party, this has been a very big challenge for us over the last couple of days. Because, you see, when we go out to campaign, we go with promises we are going to help with jobs, and especially when you go into communities, and we assured people that we are going to now bring security positions, which was a very good thing, because initially the plan was that at least every district should have minimum about 2,000 people from those districts to help with the security of the district across the whole country. And that would have been good opportunity for us to employ all these people. But government is limited in this fiscal year, especially under an IMF program. And so we're unable to actually execute that in its entirety. Now only 5,000 people can go in phase one. Those who have passed the test and now are going for medicals, we have 105,000 of them. What happens to the 105,000? The administration says that, okay, His Excellency instructed the Interior Minister that, okay, those who are not going to make it, we keep their names in the database for the next recruitment exercise.
He did mention it.
So they will no longer go through the process of buying forms, going through aptitude tests and all these things, because they've already pre-qualified for medicals. And then from that onset onwards, the next recruitment exercise, priority will be given to those people.
Yes.
All right, the Regional Communications Director for the National Democratic Congress, Gabriela Terr0r, and Ekuti Ninsemwa, or the Etu Jachirimu, a Jumason Pa, na Ababeto, a government be Obeba Ghana ha, Ababeto, so say Obeshe na wa kebe the unemployment rate Ghana has say because say nipa 500,000 plus a pay Jumana a move 5,000 penny every farmer because soya mass now 517,000. Yeah, 5,000 free. Rebecca 512,000. As a Nipani doors, Yamfa or more Ejuma, a Ghana has a no, and someone or the Etuja. So never be say, and you can say, yeah, no party sem, and you can say, yeah, no partisan, or see when you who say the lives of the youth, and who here say, you bet me, Ashena, ya bomo, a honometiano. No. And someone a mammy, a the Etuja, a honum no. Quickly, yes, sorry, in some way so. Na yako ensem fufuro mu a Reverend Ankra nsem abeto na Reverend Ankra oye hwan ono na eye the spokesperson edema eye gbobu ulomo shiche ewo eye Nungua Palace ono na eye ni spokesperson na nsem abeto efa eye Daddy Lumba ni si a yesie no allegedly amanfo de beto say yesie no woni fie ama makono ho akoma ni invite nyina se papa no enkomra mepiem Nungua Palace honom eye gbobu ulomo ni Palace honom nenka omo ene ni nkomo 1 or 2 bi ema beto kra se omo ya hye se amu no se wo fie ho ampa wo so mukotu papa yi di nsem abeto kiremu a ade akoso no ade a ebra eye enkranfo omamamre na omamane ewo eye Ghana ha sei eni kwa se ebisi na ebi mpo besi kra na wo se nka permit bi bam ni ade ne make sure say baby a wodi body ne kwhye no enko ha eye wo neighbors omo oni omo te ewo mo ntamu enko ha omo na de omo ye no ewo se omo pata eye the deities eye nananom a ewo nkran asase so ɔmo san so ɛpata ɛyɛ the traditional leaders a ɔmo ɛwɔ ɛyɛ nkran asase so ɛwɔ sɛ ɔmo san so hwɛ na ɔmo ɛpata asase n'ankasa no a ɔmo de body ne kɔhyɛ no ɔmo ayɛ nneɛma ɛde atia no papa yi de ne nsɛm ɛto dwa ɛwɔ hɔ nom a ɔde EPA fo nyinaa baa mu sɛ nka ɔmo so hwɛ no ɔmo hwɛ asɛm ne bi nka na ɔmo tire mu sɛ yɛnkɔ tie ɛyɛ Reverend Ankra yɛba yɛde update no bɛma mo.
It is dirty to have dead bodies coming closer to our deities. We do not permit that. And the spirits around us also do not permit that. If you do that, you have to pacify not just the land, but you pacify the deities, and you have to pacify the traditional leadership that have control over the territory that this very body has been buried. When you come out of that, environmentally, it is also against the laws of the state and against the laws of the community that this has been done. One, if the body begins to rot in the ground, water that is from this very body can seep down into the soil. To cut it short from here, imagine the one who stays next door has a borehole that provides water for the household that he resides in. This dead body, water from it can seep down and, destroy the good ones that has to be tapped out of the soil. So we talk about this as a degradation of the environment. Number two, what about if this very dead body buried has a particular disease on it before it was buried? It will be a problem then for the community that could also spread to enter into other communities about. So, looking at the situation medically, it is not acceptable for dead bodies to be buried in the homes of the people that live in. Number three, it is again not acceptable for this to be done. If you have to do such a thing, you will have to consult government. And government must give you a permit, at least, before you can do such a thing. But, although we have government, we have allodial powers that is also recognized by the same government. So, government cannot give a permit to somebody to be buried in his home when the leadership of the allodial owners of the land are not in the know. They have to be informed before such a thing can be done. Like I said before, Ga people do not tolerate such a thing. And the Dangme people also don't tolerate such a thing. It is given as an issue that seriously has to be debated upon before something like that can be done. So, when we heard about this, and we were, like I said, reliably informed, we tried to get into contact with Abusuapenyin Victor Usu, known as Tupac, to raise the awareness that we have had and put it into his thinking that we don't tolerate such a thing. So today, we were expecting that the invitation extended to him to appear here this morning. could be honored. We have sat for some time. He had not arrived. But there are rumors, and some say there are informations that the said Ebusuapenyin Victor Owusu has been removed as head of family. That is what has come to us. But we are saying that if Owusu Tupac could not come here, the body is still remaining in the soil. So whether Owusu comes or Owusu doesn't come, there can be a next head of family to lead the deceased Daddy Lumba. We are saying the body over there is what we are talking about. So legally, we will extend invitation to the same family, whether they have a family head or they don't have a family head. We will extend message to them to appear here. Because if the body is removed from the soil, they will still have to pacify the deities of the land, and then pacify the community, and then answer questions that we are going to put before them. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, elders of Nungwa, we would not like to speak too much or talk too much on this, but this is the information. We will still invite the family to appear here so that this very matter can be well addressed and well resolved. Thank you very much.
Reverend Ankra ne de nsem etudwa ewo ho no no kiremu a se body no mposi yebeyi e de afri eye efie honom ana se omuka ko two body no e de afri hompokra na. There are some other rituals also mo perform because omu agu asase no ho fin deities a omo wo enkran asase so ha say no omo agu omo ho fin enti e wo se ye hwe na ye pacify omo eno no kire se obeka kopata omo yano no ebi a wobetu tonwan ne nsane ne ema bi na makwakoyi eye amamre kakra ewo baabi a musi emu no na mosanso akọ eye nananom asone yeso na makwakoye eye rituals kakra enso so ewo ho eji Reverend Ankra ne de nsem etudwa ewo ehonom no na we nyina eye because of eye abusuapanyin aye to nsa frɛ no de nti ana Reverend Ankra kasa ekiremu ewo ho no ni nyina ne sɛ ye to nsa de frɛ abusuapanyin omo hwɛ nanim a ono so a wa ama ba wa ama no omo so ante hwe omo betia ne sɛ yesi etu abusuapanyin ade so na se etu abusuapanyin ade so omo nya abusuapanyin nimpo na omu hia no omu hia se body na omo de akɔhye fom ewo DL ana se Daddy Lumba a wa free mu ni fie ho no akasa yakosie no ni fie no omo behwe se omo ebeyi eye body no e de afri ho no eji se abusuapanyin no momo ama because ye tu na ade so a definitely obi baba besi na nam obi a mesi na nam so a they know where the family is omo make sure say omo nsam ebeduru abusua ne ho na omo aba be kyerɛkyerɛ nsɛmu e de akyerɛ omo ntie no ɛna ɛma ɛyɛ Reverend Ankra a ɔno ɛna kasa ɛde ma gbogbu wulomo ɛwɔ ɛyɛ Nungwa Palace ɔno ɛde nsɛm ɛtu dwa kyerɛ mu ɛwɔ sɛ EPF fo nyina ɔso ɔmo de ɔmo ho jim because it is causing threats to the environment because obi atu abura ewo next door na sa wonso asie body ewo fie a imagine say ensu e wa asase ase no ebi betimi atene mpo akwakogu obi abura mu ne ade enti environmentally is not healthy say enkran ha obesie unipa a wa free mu ewo fie tie no ene nsem a Reverend Ankra ede etudwa ewo ehonom enti yes yebedi nsem na chi updates bi ebe free mu ede ababia no yebe mama so ate because as we speak now abusuapanyin Tupac nso so de abeto dwa se ono no obi antimi ntu na de so because you betimi atu na de so ene ye otumfo because ono abusua panyin ne de obi anu obetimi etu no because enye mmara kwan so na abusua na fa so omo de etu no because release nyina ba ama ekiremu a abusua panyin to park opanyin kofi owusu no omo etu na de so enti eno so asem foforo wo ho enti hwan ne bekọ akopiem nungwa palace nya bisa ne nsem na aso amu asa ya no krasi asie wo dadi lumba no ankasa ne fie a ombekọ akotu ana omunkotu eno so asem foforo wo ehonum enti ye beto aso na ye de update no de amamo enso so wo ho yebekọ President John Dramani Mahama ho na ono de unim sesese okọ UN bia topic global topic nene ensembe no di tuja yabrem update dada say ono na champion reparations Ghana ha ekiremu a the transatlantic slave trade course so it is the grievous activity bi ade betimi de adi nipa bia wasase so yade a odi ye ohun say the western world om de ye bibiman a entwe yie baako kra wo honum because say obefa nipa na watete ne say the otete ye nyina ye nim how our slave trade era no netie because of history ene ne ma yakohu wo castles ne ade no yade a ya nti on your screens an update eba ye de mamo or say Ghana intends to propose a United Nations resolution recognizing transatlantic slavery as the gravest crime in the history of humankind and calling for reparations and expects broad support despite resistance in Europe. And yes, that is the update. President John Dramani Mahama and champion sa course said the beya omo ebe pata bibiman the kind of me can say ayayade a omo de Africans omo efamu ebesi ne Dr. Kwame Nkrumah kra de o say still na sa kwasi konso ogina kwantia no still na edaso ekoso in a very different way ono de opene ono ankasa brofo mpo de ema no ewo honom enti currently President John Dramani Mahama amanfo dodo na akiremu a said the Ghana ekeka kono niema ye leaders no ye ni ade won't because you see Ghana is always in the news. Ghana is always in the news some way somehow. Internationally Ghana is trending because anyama we akosui ote say in the update yema who said the western world, especially the Europeans, they are not happy with some of these alterations and I said kasa yes some of the African leaders omo eka Ghana President John Dramani Mahama ene di animu enya de omanije eho kra ewo ho enti the Europeans are not really happy with the fact that they have to compensate Africans because we mo omo de emfa say metimi aka say European countries no dodo na omo make us omo colonize Africans ewo hanom ma slavery ni ade nyina etimi ekoso ewo ho nti omo de ebo reparations so a enye ade a omo eni eje ho kra so in as much as say omo eni nye ho no President John Dramani Mahama say nye omo asem kra no oti ono de he will still champion the cause. They have to compensate us, they have to find ways through grants any ade ni niema bebre they have to find a way to compensate Africans said the beya yenso ebe hu say yes niema omo de ye titimre mu no yenya ho emfaso ewo eho no menti President John Dramani Mahama update ni chiremu in front of United Nations he is championing reparations for Africa, people of Africa, omo Africa hane people of African descent and ni nyina omo eka ho bia President John Dramani Mahama ehwese omo ebetimi aboa na ya compensate yen ye hwɛ mu nso so a Senegal ye bɛkɔ Senegal ne aba na ensɛm ne sɛ the gayism homosexuality ekoso wo aman bi so na nse ya di update by say Nigeria ni bi ka say Ghana ha de oba ye free show any ade no ye be ma mo update no say a police force aka na be ma mo update okọ Senegal a omo de nkan pass law pass mra na ekiremu a wo no ye betimi achi watum up to 5 years no ni jail term a ye betimi di amount na mo so mo promote homosexuality ni gayism ni ade ne ma nyina ewo hon LGBT ni ade ewo Senegal no mo so no your actions are criminal. They have criminalized the act of promoting homosexuality, gayism, LGBT Senegal. Now, say the update they say they have doubled the punishment. It is now come 5 years. Said them didn't kind na. Say they come 10 years. And that is the update. A free yes Senegal. Eba utremwa. Said the Ghana ha. Ye de aye den etwetwere eye yempanimfo ne bo aso mo ka asem no ye wie ka wonfa nkoma president no onsan ye se da bi obi afa ekire de asem no court enti o se ye twema court ka asem no wie ansa na ye hu ba bi ye de asem no befa asa ye de koto ha ne ye de abeto ha na parliament omo champion ye in the previous government omu di animu say yensan ase. That was a joint collaboration of the majority and the minority, both NPP and NDC. MPs omu nyina aka bo mu no enei asa obi aye din e wo honom omu nka ho hwe ko ba bi te Senegal de a omu mfa e ho nsem no eni agro bi be ka se omu de omu ye nkramofo enti na omu edi sa adwuma no sa enema wei obi eni ho esefata no se oye Ghana ni na oye Christian oye Muslim enya de se efata wo e wo ho nti ko Senegal de a omu ede omu anya ntum e wo honom omu edi nkan pass law Emma ne be a criminal activity. Wow, okay, ho asem wudi hu nkomompo no aso betimi ayehye. But say e o double punishment no e wo e honom. Ghana ha enche e bia ne ye say speaker of parliament e de abetudwa say omo san start asem no afresh. Na omo enhwe how omo be see review because President John Dramani Mahama in his early days e won the second coming no de tudwa say emra ne bi wo mu a omo be so omo hwe how best omo ebetimi ahyehye ne ye na etimi aboa Ghana omo a ye bechi omo no ebetimi aboa ama asotwe ni mu aye den enti anu nyina ye nsem o so omo hwe obeka asa wie ya na speaker so de betu dwasa asem no kra afi no omo sha ase foforo parliament enti amanfo dodo na ase omo ani nje ho se ye kwa na ase ye ba because edumre bi ye be passe ene asem foforo enti Ghana ha de ne de ye hwe animu say you be criminalize activity no mpo ne hu say jail term say ni na abekọ na won so a wudi hu enkomo would promote ni ade no won so obetimi akom how many years e wo ho jail term say e na beko enti that is the update ebi mu so kire mu a grants any some of aids are free amanone eba the western world no eba no ebi wo ho a yaso betimi ayehye say emma because so unya kwaji tumu a obehun say human rights for beba omo so omo champion LGBT ni ade omo so beba they will start writing to donors omo wa manone omo boa countries ebi ti say Ghana ebi ti say bosia kora ye kobo no chale waso betimi ayehye enti ebi mu hu ne say sa ne ma we nyina aka ho na ama Ghana ye twetwe na yase eba ye almost 2 years ni ekomu yi aban no eba ye omo entimi nka ho hwe other issues they call ya passing. What is really there with LGBT anti-gayism law Ghana ye person ye passing? What is really behind it? And only update ebi mu echechire mu e wo hono mu a omu chire mu a em se Ghana ye suro se em se AIDS free amanone ne ade beba no ebetimi abon ne ade they will start adding us to the red list of countries omu esi amanfo omu fa ahodie ho kwanti ama ya twetwe ye ho se ye besan and as ye beka ho asem na ya pass no into mra. That is the update. Ye be he Senegal de omu age atum ewo ehonom Senegal de omaji atume wo hono a omo asadobo punishment no yenim say minority in parliament omo so di gu majority for no ye di omo di gu omo chem said this was one of your campaign ensem omo di tudwa edi tudwa say Nana Danko Akufo-Addo ompe so obete sa asem no kra ni nyina ka ho bi na up till now omo ntimi pass sa amra no e ma ne meye mra e wo Ghana ha nti mo de mo ba fast track Mobile ya mo make sure say some running nyina ya pass na omo edi sa ensemone wo Ghana ha say no omo aso betimi ayehye but say asem na koye bibi foforo enim say minority omo abo machi abo na ewo mu na bibi foforo bebom na yeyi ani afri so bibi foforo bebom na yeyi ani afri so ya behwe say omo ebetimi betimi ahwe na yedi eno so ehu adwuma ewo ehonom yes Senegal and so apasem right. I'm going to have video in the
Senegal lawmakers on Wednesday approved a bill doubling the maximum prison term for same-sex acts and criminalizing the promotion of homosexuality. The move fulfills a campaign promise of the government that came to power in 2024, led by President Bassirou Diomaye Faye and Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko. Senegal already had a law, last updated in 1966, that punished what it called, quote, acts against nature, with up to 5 years in prison and fines of over $2,000. The new version says such acts can be punished with imprisonment of up to 10 years and fines of over $17,000. Judges are also barred from granting suspended sentences or reducing penalties below the minimum. The bill defines, quote, acts against nature to include homosexuality, bisexuality, what it calls, quote, transsexuality, as well as zoophilia and necrophilia. Anyone found guilty of promoting or financing such acts also faces prison time. Imam Babakar Silla of the religious collective Ansam Jikoyi welcomed the move.
The longer it takes, the more complicated it will be, and these people, whom I qualify as public dangers, will continue to escape. You cannot be homosexual, which is already bad, and then be sick and transmit the disease voluntarily. I cannot have compassion for these people.
In the weeks leading up to the vote, supporters of the law held rallies in Dakar, chanting, quote, no to homosexuality, holding banners with rainbows crossed out. The period has been marked by a surge in arrests of men on suspicion of, quote, acts against nature, as well as in some cases, quote, voluntary transmission of HIV, a crime carrying up to 10 years in prison.
All right, Senegal, almost Supreme Court, and your koye, Palace de Justice, nature Supreme Court in your koya. They say omo akopeja jail term for LGBTQ plus a honum. Ti ebetwa ensem no so na ye the update no e de amamo. The administrator for Minerals Development Fund, Dr. Hannah Louisa Bisu, edin nsem abetudwa shocking revelation. Na nsem odi tudwa kire mu a yen say last year na oka ho bi na omo fight galamsey omo fa ha no omo pie ha omo fa ha no omo pie ha ma me ne de sema beto dwa say eno na no ye no amanfo fa kire e try say nkomo poison no na nyame ene boa no e ma nyame ne boa na went me free mu e wo ho no because ye bisa no say aye hu say na wani abre ni na wo pie na wo ye galamsey na wo di akire naimos na wo di omachi blue water gas na wo di omachi na sese ye hu ye ntan hu bio e wo ho no na ma me ni to dwa say oh yes aban ne de okko galamsey adwuma no omo bo omo ye adwuma no pa e wo ho na nanse amu hu no e na odi tudwa se amamfo bi di awuduro se be anka omo de e kama me na no e ma me kan se omo poison no nanso nyame adom oda so etiase a bibia anto no e wo ho no nti ye bekọ na yakwa kotie Dr. Hannah Louisa Bisu ne nsem a odi tudwa because uchire mu a asem no wo hu se ye internal senso external ono ane nkofo omo ye galamsey ni bi na adwuma a obo no na omo ahi ena ema omo saawo anase hwan mu ene hye akire a mami mo kamo ya ma ne ho akokire no wo honom no mami ne kasa ide nsem tudwa enti quickly ne yebekọ na yakwa akotie Dr. Hannah Louisa Bisu na yabasisi.
But last year, you were very hard on the fight against illegal mining. You were very vociferous. We saw you around. Then you became quiet. Was your position under siege?
I'm laughing because how can the position be under siege?
Political actors.
No, not at all.
Strong hand somewhere.
No, that is not President John Dramani Mahama's government. No, I think he's very, very clear about his stance on illegal mining. And if you see all the things that the ministry is doing, 9 months and the blue water guards and the cooperative mining that recently, so a lot is going on. It's like meeting a very bad chronic disease, and you need to save the person. I normally will go back to medicine because of my background.
Your background, yeah.
Yeah. So everybody, we can do this, let's do that. So patch, then we're able to save the situation. So my thing was not under siege. You know, let me say this. Recently, at is it Dunkwao?
Yes.
Dunkwao. Wasa Dunkwao?
Yes. There was a mining pit caving and some.
No. There was a Dunkwao. Didn't cave. The woman went to pick, and these are the women that some of us, like the women I salute, the women I cherish. Okay, so she went to pick firewood. 43, I think 42, 43 years old. With her 3 children.
3 children, yes.
Those, they went to swim, thinking they can swim. The same thing happened at Tiwa West, Akrofufu. 7-year-old boy was playing and he's behind the house. Remember that in our communities, we live close to our forests, we live close to our farms, and that 7-year-old boy died. He went to swim. This one went to swim, and as a mother, she couldn't. She thought she could save her children. The 4 of them died. Okay. Then the other place at Kaniata.
And then there's Sutifi Sound.
That's a Sutifi Sound.
Okay.
9 people died. And that is just the few that you know. When we go to the field, we know the numbers that come.
So it means there are more.
Yes,
undocumented.
On my phone, sometimes sometimes when I see picture, I don't even want to open. So it comes just like that. They show it to you. So my job was no. We are still working. You see, when we came, I needed time to get to know myself, so that if I was setting up the structures to work, then you know that the structure is needed here, this structure is needed there. Now we have regional zonal coordinators. Okay. We have northern zone A, northern zone B. Okay. Then we have middle belt A, middle belt B. Then we have the coastal belt. We have the coordinators. We have a national coordinator, and we are working on the ground. But of course, I can't be on the field all the time as the administrator. But it's good that I went, and I'll go again. We will do. My guys are there. We are collaborating. We are still arresting. We are still doing it. And we are making sure that people do not take the lead. I mean, I along the line, I got poisoned. But by the grace of God, I survived.
As a result of your fight?
Yes, madam.
Hannah Louisa Bisu ono na administrator for a minerals development fund ena odin nsem etudwa enti wutie nsem na at the latter part ochiremu she got poisoned amanfo senka omo se omo yi na free house senyo enka omo edi sa adwuma no ewo ne so enti eno ene nsem a Dr. Louisa Hannah Bisu edi etu edwa ewo ehonomo. Yes, enti ochiremu manipa dodo na no mu bisa se is it say no ankasa ni nkofo na ne saa anase hwan mu na omo ehye kira na omo person kom omo edi saa adwuma no ewo ehonom no nti odi tudwa say yes aban ne de omo ye adwuma omo ebo adwuma pa ewo ehonom enti enya de ese bibisa ebetimi akoso se watiada anase President John Dramani Mahama empo na ebia ne nkofo no akeka bibia kire no ewo honom dabi enye bibisa ena esiye enti na oka ne nsem ewo honom ewo ho enti eno ene nsem a ode etudwa enti maame no ede nsem atudwa pa ode nsem atudwa ewo ehonom a ukiremu a nipa dodo na omo ye confused say eyeden ena na maame ani abre or champion illegal mining, fight against illegal mining na sese dey asemaame na tiada onka ho asem bio wagyan ho asem kane ade enti na ehwehwe amanfo aso say maame die na ekoso enti sese dey watiada no eno ena maame ne de enchiremu abre yen a okiremu a it got to a time she was poisoned eno ena man sanse we nyina etimi ebae no na ye to aso na ye de nsem no e de amamo ewo hono in NDC Anita di soso e de ensem ababetudwa na ne nsɛm ɔde abeto dwa no ɛyɛ very shocking because wo hɛ adwuma maame abɔ ɛwɔ NDC mu a maame sesi ɔde abeto dwa sɛ ɔbɛlidi ɛyɛ mmabunu no no ma yɛ demonstration ɛde atia NDC obɛkan maame ɔno na president former president Jerry John Rawlings ka sɛ ɔpɛ n'asɛm paa ne ba no nanso ɛyɛ ana enku ne dɔɔso ɛno ne nsɛm a asresɛm kakra papa yi ɛka fa de maama ɛde fa maame no ho enti ɔde nsɛm bebree ɛto dwa sɛ ɔno obelidi demonstration against NDC yɛbɛkɔ ne akwakotie ɛyɛ maame Anita di soso na yaba sisi
ni onu bia ɛwɔ hɔnom no ɛwɔ meeting na se group na se nti me kwa no asa me ti wo se na me hwɛ omu din oguna me hwɛ omu din na me come baby oba panyin na etesa me ma committee me ni hɔnom 500 Ghana maka na nsa wo sa ye meeting bi ma ntumi anya ho ankɔ ye frɛ me magi 1400 na cha se fi si e ba e ko 2 years afa na Anita di so anya 1405 is it fair
1009
maka is it fair a brand nipa bre is it fair
na mum so de wo
me kanya me nko bra me ka go for mo be gu me so ana no se me nka bi ma mo na me de aka ho
me to say but wo ye pani pa party mu why ye vice chairperson edi ama party why ye vice to say opposition no the be the one national women organizer why ye
because let's assume say o de mo pese mo hwe paper we mu say be ya akromfo mu ane ache wo mo ye no krenso ache 1 year plus aka how many years
2 years
nti no ya nhwe ye fie ye konkola no ho mbeti nkola no mbeti omuntie nti no me fa fidie so na maka kire ye mpanyimfo say niam e koso no omun sesa enya sa me din microphone ma ye demonstration
yes meba so me respond to obi a video na rekaje so kwa asempef no masa enkra na complain mun ka bibi nkyerem na kra wo reject akra so ko military ye de yese na tutuo tiebi
the voice now way no his excellency in Ekasa
yes
yeah and the okay no enye wrong na ye bontoa na on a party for share and I'll catch a party for and say, Aquenya, Yedema, Timemu for say, Emresu say, for security service now. Yeah, no, almost a Ghana for they will enjoy from the fruit of their labor.
Yes.
And maybe a Tremukonumpo there. Military, Ghana Police Service, it may be 3 good years now and 4 months. And the NPP, so okay. Some issue, and I can't just a stock and ye free. And you know, I think the year campaign a topic of discussion because wherever we go, no na party for no vent say MPP ba be mu kran ye mie no wakonya bi ato. And say yanso ye ba we should put those matters into consideration.
Yes.
And run them say immigration or more
yeah, aptitude test no release results no yes yes
ano pano in the social media and kofu bebre complaining but I stand with all Ghanaians
okay
ewo niema bi say where security e bambo yenim say you can never as a nation compromise your security that one is there but to the party folks yes they were poto amana afie no
unchiri so
de boom nti ebi mo kasa omudika
okay
omudika because yemu bi mo ene yenya akwanya say ye some in their name some of us were like them me go back 12 years ago na me say omo complaining nti mo amoye in charge mo nso mo be ma dodode ni bi aso omo so na ye modwuma because o be ka kire ne sisi ni si ya o ko refer say maybe atwam kono no form no kra no na wonya bi na wato and under the NPP two partisan obi ehun wo kroma say security recruitment no wonya bi ne net say the ope kokin ato asore dem it is not easy Nti ene se oba now see NDC for the obi a disqualify and how na de omo.
Sir, in the spirit of resetting the count, won't me the obi and dada ni bi.
Masa, yeah, reset.
The criteria.
The fact is say resetting just NDC ni qualify so be ko military and police.
Now one pass aptitude test.
I believe strongly, sir. Okay. Some me who data omo de kasa. But this afternoon I was with the colleague. Ba ku so no ko yes I then nam saying so go shinga dance soldier etu e de senator
omo de so go
yes em so se when accident pentina ne ha no like
and so omo de disqualify.
Oh yes then bro fu bi nam so mo kan and am say masa we enye wo se asem kroma ni po mo se afa kura bre de no mo ni pe ko pe juma se ne se media support them boys are brave. Masa, let me tell you something. At the chindi na hunama of course by a phone so.
Oh.
Any messages say inya. Thought there would be the craft for na went me ampeke. Ono no timi ko social media no hwehwe. Was when a problem. Ye frewa omfa. And I think they deserve it. So to the ministries in charge, you know. The ministers there, they are also politicians. We NDC for. Ya ban mu ya bai. Baby a man penny di wakusi biano. You are serving the interests of the country and the party as well.
Yes.
Me mean to say, we Ghana do free the me party interest in here because the party no and small money the party will also not come to power. So even communication be do proper communication for them to fully understand them. Because people were raising issues who say, yes, do not there pending. Yes,
results pending.
Yes, so tell them something. You can't tell me say my cultural exams.
All right, and Emmanuel J. Ono National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program. Ono acting. General ono acting CEO. Ono didn't nsem to na ohwe baby ono ye adwuma kona. Na just omo bre say adwuma no eba sa na yamfa food soldiers, party food soldiers na pressure beto omo so na MPs no pressure da omo so nani efre MP echina na efre MP ye efre wa jiska ye efre wa ye say MP me ba no otifie wa wie school ye say amoye ne den ene ade enti se mufa obi na muka che ne se ne sinti muntimi mfa no soldier na che se mu person nipa no onko ye adwuma ben wa ja se a o kan ya kire mu se nye ye se ne edi tutuo enti o se nka mu consider nkofo ni bi na mu fa omo no be ye adwuma se be nye obi an e field e ko tutuo nye obi an e field e ko pattern to kwa e ti se omo an omo Lebanon ya na nsen me sa akoto omo camp yi enye obi an ye se adwuma ni bi ebi mu wo office a omo bo adwuma e de bo the Ghana Armed Forces any immigration for no omo wa kanyina nti e den e na mo ka kire omo se we dey unqualified onye tenten oyetietia ne siso sebe ne siso abu wa ye sei ni nyina hu hia sa pressure na moto de ma MPF no enti that is the update Eric J ono so de ni update ba yo kire mu a ono de oni aban any the process omo fa so de recruitment no oni omo enye adwene yes quickly you be call Iran but before then no there is this birthday that I want to do we are not yet so the last update you call Iran near the ensem every honum e about so on your screens or say to Tukuma Esther or no and I screens so today is her birthday and me fa konya so to wish her a happy birthday watch out for this lady brofo ene na no kasa pa de edida kwemu pa she's such a brilliant young lady oko school ewo Unimark ewo honum that is Osei Tutukuma Esther happy birthday ewo honum yes ye beto aso na yako Iran na ye the updates no the free ho the amamo na Iran omo supreme leader ofri mu Ayatollah Khamenei ofri mu ena ne ba omo de ne ba ebesi so na one in the nkan ba from United States of America say omo de omo mfa ho nipa bi omo de ne beba bia omo be make sure say omo ebe yi no edi no afri ho papa ye fa no foforo ne nsem o de tu dwa bibia kire say ne papa adwuma obedi ye no enu ano no so beto aso the same thing and obeto aso so on your screens or say Iran's new supreme leader is in coma and has lost at least one leg na say papa yi eno no obi di beto dwa se obekata wani beti no na supreme leaders miensa abetwamu kɔ na still na ntokwa no eguso a ekoso na eno na manfo dodo na se de bi ka kan no wan hwe ombese yi foforo ama na be acting na we hu to na waba beto as because see owo koma no bibie ni obetimi aye ama no aye ye yes United States of America any Israel for person mo ya no mo make sure say o mo bebubu Iran for nyina apre na new supreme leader ye oba ye ono so de nsem betu dwa the first time it was state television so nsem o de tu dwa kire mo ono so ntokwa no ono so eba be hyem kena Strait of Hormuz anansia President Donald Trump de betu dwa say obe make sure say ono abebo kade ni bottom sika insure ships a efa ho nyina na se hu be hia mpo se Iran forces still na sa kwan kakra na ships dodo na afa ho every Middle East edeba America any Europe ni other countries no still na be block sa kwan na obema US Navy abo ship bia ho ban amomatimi pass through the Strait of Hormuz new supreme leader iba e say ono de onye na adwin so obebie me kura me kan article no na me so obeka so obebie there's a video to this ye wekọ na yakwakotie ye ba beto aso de amamu ye nko the new supreme leader time no okasa enu nti ema United States of America make sure say ombebubu papa na press papa no is in coma ne nai ba konso so free ho ye nko ne emra sisi
France's new supreme leader speaking now.
Aims and goals have been foiled and aborted. He also confirmed the necessity of continuing the defensive activity, and he also added that it's important to continue the closure of Hormuz Strait or the Strait of Hormuz. Also, he said the path of the war or the route of the war will continue depending on the interests of the parties. Also, he expressed his solidarity with those who lost their lives and with the wounded and their families, and confirmed that there will be revenge for the blood of the martyrs, particularly the children who are at the school of Mina. In another part, the Supreme Leader pointed out that there will be a message to the officials in the countries of the region. They must know that Iran is quite keen on the relations between Iran and the countries of the region, adding that the enemy wants us to be in different moods in order to control our region. He said that Iran has warned previously that the war against Iran must not affect our relationship with our neighbors, despite the fact that we have been attacked from some of the American bases in these countries. In the name of Allah Almighty, Allah Almighty will give us the best, and peace be upon you all.
There you have it, a message from Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei. Let's go back to it.
Peace be upon those who want the best for Iran and the Iranian people. At the very beginning, we must talk to the people, especially after the martyrdom of the supreme leader of Iran, and I'd like to thank everyone in the Iranian people and in the Muslim world for their sympathy and support the martyrs are always in the best place, and the recent war will be having its repercussions. I'd like to talk to the Iranian people who have clearly shown the expert council their support through the radio and the TV of Iran. I have learned the result of the Supreme Council voting, and from my position, the place that hosts Al-Khomeini and Al-Khamenei, this position necessitates a lot, not only this period or the past period, but also for the future of the country. The death of a leader has always shown the world that he is always, or he was always based on the truth. He was always talking about the truth. And he has a great character, and the scholars have their own characteristics, and I will stop it here, and I will continue talking about the Supreme Leader for next occasion. The responsibility is big. The responsibility is very big, and I ask the power and support from Allah Almighty and from you. The connection is always there between the leadership and the people. Al-Khomeini and Khamenei have helped the people to be involved to the policy of the country, and have stressed the importance of the meaning of the Islamic Republic. They believed in this identity, and we have seen this side during the recent days, where before my the enemies were trying hard to hit the people before the expert council can find a supreme leader. Now I'm here, and the Iranian people have shown the world that they are great people, and we all have the good successor, and Allah Almighty is helping us to do that job. It's quite important to understand profoundly and perfectly the verses of the Holy Quran. We want to resort to the Holy Quran to make sure that the role of the leaders, the role of the great leaders, is quite important, and it is a blessing to have these leaders, and it is a blessing to learn a lot from their characters and their characteristics. It's quite important to always be together, and the leader cannot work without you. The leader cannot work without the support of the people. And of course, we need all to depend and to rely on Allah Almighty, and to follow the path and the roots of the great characters and the great personalities that are always in Iran. We need to defeat our enemy, Our strength will help us all to defeat our enemy, and so many categories of our society understand this, and away from the points of differences, we need to overcome all the points of difference, and we need to make use of the great presence of the Iranian people and leaders with their different layers during this war.